Pilates Swiss, and I'm doing a Pilates and Yoga visceral Pilates sequence with you today. So go ahead and lie down on the mat and just let everything go for a moment. You want to think of relaxing your jaw and your pelvic floor like you've been to the dentist, and your jaw, your tongue, your gums, everything is like it's paralyzed, like it's numb. And you want to relax your belly and your pelvic floor like you're tipping a bottle of mineral water into the sink in your kitchen. And that's just giving your brain the information to release for a moment. Because a hypertoned pelvic floor, hypertoned local muscles are just as inefficient as ones that don't have any strength. Now after we've gone and relaxed and give our brain that signal to let go, we're going to go on to the pre-Pilates and to the actual activation of our alignment and our muscles. So I'm going to go ahead and lie down, and I want to bring my body into neutral. Neutral is when you have air underneath your waistline, the ACES and the CSIS, anterior superior iliac spine, and posterior superior iliac spine are vertical over each other. And depending on what literature you're reading, this will vary a bit. But at Pilates Swiss, we're going to go for a vertical alignment. That means that your pubic bone is away from your sternum, and you have that beautiful functional double S curve of the vertebrae on the mat. You have air underneath your waistline because you're on your sacrum and not on your waistline. So the double S curve of the spine also encompasses broad shoulder blades, long cervical spine, and you want to pull your spine into axial elongation. And that's an energetic activation of your alignment, and in doing so you have an activity tonus in the complete local muscle groups, including your pelvic floor. So I want you to go ahead and bring your knees up over your hip, tabletop position. If you have your hand underneath your waistline, you can now test. Most people will feel pressure on their hands as their knees come towards themselves, and most people will feel the need to stabilize when they load the lever. So we're starting off with that knee pelvic floor alignment when we go into our lever. But just to build up the local muscle recruitment, we're going to put our feet down, we're going to activate an axial elongation, and now we're going to recruit the muscles together. You're going to inhale, relax your stomach all the way to the base of your spine. On the exhale, you're bringing your ribs towards your pelvis. On the inhale, you relax your stomach all the way to the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, you bring your ribs down. And now also bring your navel towards the spine, as though you were tightening your belt, and it would be possible to have one more loop further available. Inhale, relax your stomach in axial elongation. And exhale, watch me lower my ribs, pull my navel in, and contract my pelvic floor muscles. Contracting the pelvic floor muscles is like stopping wind or urine, or it's like pulling the bones of your butt internally together. It's not just clapping your butt cheeks together. That would be the global outer layer. You want to focus really on recruiting the local internal layer. So we're going to do all three of those recruitments together as a team. Watch me. I'm not breathing into my ribs east-west. Rather, I'm breathing all the way down to the base of my spine. My hand expands towards the ceiling on the inhale. On the exhale, scoop your stomach, ribs down, navel in, and pelvic floor lift. So let's go ahead and add that knee-hip alignment with air underneath the waistline. Inhale, you relax your stomach to the tailbone. Exhale, scoop your stomach first. And when the air is almost empty, then you load the lever. So we're doing a staggered breath. Inhale, you return, your stomach expands. Exhale, you scoop first, and then you load the lever. Now, if you'd like to make this a wee bit harder, I want you to lift your upper body up. The tips of your shoulder blades feel like little feet on the mat. We call this scapular tips position. You're going to inhale, expand your stomach, please. You're going to exhale, scoop your stomach first. And when the air is almost empty, you go away 5 centimeters. Inhale, relax your stomach, please. Exhale, ribs down, navel in, pelvic floor lift. And when you can see that your stomach's going flat and in, that's your indication that you're working with the local muscles as opposed to just the global. Exhale, scoop first, and then you load the lever. Now if you want to make it harder, you can lift your feet towards the ceiling. Inhale, relax your stomach. Exhale, scoop first, and then you go ahead and load the lever. We're going to do 5 more, beautiful people. Whew. 4. So this is what we call the staggered breath at Pilates Swiss. I'm recruiting the local muscles before I make the activity harder, in this case, by loading the lever. We're going to do 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Scoop. I want to go ahead and take that right leg towards my chest. I'm going to inhale. And then on the exhale, I change 1. And then I exhale, change 2. Notice I'm breathing out a teaspoon before I load the lever. And I'm going to do 5 more on this leg. 4. So Joseph Pilates did different breathing patterns. He did every lever. And he also did percussive breath. Maybe you do percussive breath at your studio. What we're doing is the staggered breath from Pilates Swiss. So let's just say that was the 10th time. I want you to grab the other leg. Inhale, stay here and relax your stomach. And exhale, change. 1. Inhale. 2. So you got 3 options for your arms, for your neck. Number 1, I'm going to support my neck. Number 2, I'm going to do the classical leg hand position. And number 3, I'm going to do the lat connection where I'm pulling with my shoulder blades, with my fingertips, with the whole back side of my ribs towards the opposite wall. So we're going to pretend that was 10. Go ahead and bend that leg. Classical hand position. I'm going to inhale, relax my stomach. And exhale, 10, option for the neck. Exhale, 9, option for the arms. 8, ouch. 7, and exhale, 6, and exhale, 5, 4. Go ahead and lower those legs if you want to make it challenging. 3, exhale, 2, and 1. Hold. Stay here, breathe in. And here's your change. 10 on the other side. And exhale, 9. And exhale, 8. And exhale, 7. And exhale, 6. And exhale, 5. And go ahead, 4. And exhale, 3. And exhale, 2. And exhale, 1. Drop your head. Circle your lower back into the mat to release your lower spine. So a lot of people feel a tension in their lower back when they're not accustomed to doing this scoop recruitment. And the idea here is that you're massaging your lumbar spine into the mat with the use of your body. So I don't want you to be wiggling around with your legs. I want you to do it passively by using your hands. So you're stirring your big soup, stew, thick stew. You're stirring and rotating. Go ahead and go in the opposite direction. And again, you can just relax your jaw for just a moment, keeping in tradition with that releasing of the local muscles tradition in the visceral method. So we're going to continue with Pilates Swiss series of 5. We've had a little break. And we're going to pimp our double leg stretch. So in Joseph Pilates' return to life through contrology, he's inhaling on the lever. Certainly you can do that in the visceral method, but we're going to exhale first in order to demonstrate our staggered breath. Inhale, come together. Exhale first, and then load the lever. 8 more. Exhale first, and then load the lever. 7. Good, good. 3. So you can really see me breathing out and recruiting the local muscles. You can see my stomach going in before I load the lever. We're going to do one more, and we're going to crisscross. So I want you to turn and look at your back elbow. You're going to load the lever as far as it's comfortable for you. Maybe today you're feeling this way. So I want you to then turn completely to the other side as you change legs. Inhale, relax your stomach. Exhale, scoop, and turn. 8 more, inhale. And exhale, 7, inhale. And exhale, 6, whew. And exhale, 5, and 4. So maybe you can see I'm doing the staggered breath. 3, I'm keeping the tips of my shoulder blades down. 2, and the last one I'm going to stay on the other side, just like before. I'm going to stay here, breathe in. I'm going to exhale first, and I'm going to rotate for the last 10. Inhale, exhale, 9. So this is an excellent diagonal chain of muscle recruitment. This is good for all of those golfers and tennis players and people who work a lot with the upper extremities. We're going to do 5 more. Inhale, exhale, 5. Keep those elbows wide. Turn your cervical spine. Look at the back elbow. 4. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. Good, good. And 1. And take a little break. And so you're going to circle your lower back into the mat, pelvic bowl, opposite direction pelvic bowl, and just use the weight of your body to release your lumbar spine. It's not uncommon that people will feel their lower back when these muscles are not yet accustomed to stabilizing that lever. And the nasty 5 is all lever exercises, loading the lever. So go ahead and grab one knee, grab the other knee, and then I want you to just circle that ball and socket joint. As you circle the ball and socket joint, you're letting that psoas relax. You're letting that movement from the ball and socket joint activate and relieve certain layers, different layers of the pelvic floor. And it's really just nice after doing all that lever work where it may be that some people are gripping a lot with the psoas to relax the muscles around the ball and socket joint of the hip. Last but not least, we're going to place those legs on the mat and we're going to roll up segmentally, and you're going to feel that beautiful release through the psoas. You're going to inhale, relax your stomach. You're going to exhale first, and then with a staggered breath, you're going to roll down. And that staggered breath here applies as well. You're going to inhale, find neutral, relax your stomach. Maybe you can see me scoop first, and then I'm going to do a coccyx curl. I'm going to roll up. Here my butt is tucked under so that I get the stretch here through the psoas. I'm going to inhale, relax my stomach. I'm going to exhale first, and then I'm going to roll down, and I'm trying to create length in my lumbar spine, which is really lovely after doing that sequence of 5 from Joseph Pilates' classical mat work. One more time, bridging from Pilates. Inhale, I relax my stomach. I'm just looking towards the ceiling. I'm going to exhale first, and then I'm going to roll my seat towards the ceiling. Stay here, breathe in, please. Exhale, scoop first, and then roll down. And in doing so, I've just given my lumbar spine, my vertebrae, a little bit of a massage after doing Joseph Pilates' Nasty 5 series of 5 sequence from the mat class. I'm Carolina Schmid. Come back and see us again. Thank you for participating at Pilates Swiss. See you soon.